Hey everybody, Drew McClellan here from Agency Management Institute. This week, I spent a lot of time fielding questions from some of the attendees, agency owners, who were with us a couple weeks ago in Orlando for the workshop Build and Nurture Your Agency Sales Funnel. Stephen Wessner and I taught that workshop, and we built it off of the book that we wrote, Sell with Authority. And one of the questions that came up from several of the attendees was, totally get the idea that I need to establish myself and our agency as an authority. And I get that we are a subject matter expert and we can share that expertise with an audience to attract them to us as prospective clients. But here was their question. If I share everything that we know, why would they hire us? And I got to tell you, that's a constant and very common concern that we hear from people who are sort of embarking on this way of doing biz dev. And here's what I tell them, and here's what I will tell you. Number one, you can't possibly teach everything you know. First of all, you have years and years and years of accumulated experience, both in marketing and whatever your area of specialty is going to be. So again, that might be an industry niche. It might be an audience that you really understand. It might be a problem that you help your clients solve, or it might be a deliverable like Amazon Marketplace. But whatever it is, you have decades, well, okay, not in Amazon Marketplace, but you have decades of experience in the marketing and in your area of expertise. So there's no way you could possibly teach them everything you know. Plus, you're not done learning. Every time you work with a client or you solve a new problem, you're learning something new. And so you are constantly adding to your knowledge base. Number two, even if you could teach them everything you know, the reality is just because they know it doesn't mean they want to do it themselves. And in fact, the more you teach them, the more they understand that it's difficult to do what you do and know everything that you know. And of course, they want to hire you to do that because you've now helped them understand that yes, they can do parts of it themselves. And yes, you can make them smarter and help them do their job better every single day. But that doesn't mean they don't want an expert. You know, we all can buy a cookbook. And we all can go to the grocery store and buy ingredients. But that doesn't mean that when we want something to be really spectacular or special, that we don't on occasion go out to a restaurant. Same thing for you. That they understand what you're doing actually just makes them a better client. It does not reduce the likelihood that they're going to hire you. Now, some people absolutely will take what you've taught them and sort of DIY their own marketing for whatever their niche, whatever their industry or the audience or whatever that is. No doubt. But not all of them. And remember, you don't need 1 million new clients. You need 2 to 3 great clients that are worth about 10% of your AGI to have a killer year. So, number one, you can't teach them all you know. Number two, just because you teach them something doesn't mean they're going to want to do it themselves. And number three is when you create content and you are teaching your expertise and sharing your expertise, whether you're speaking at a conference or you wrote a book or you're doing some research, that's just a little sliver of what you know. And you're going to parse it out in pieces. So just like this video doesn't tell you everything I know about how agencies should build and nurture their sales funnel through content marketing, it gives you a piece of it and it's valuable to you, but it's not the whole story. So what happens is as you're sharing your expertise and you continue to get smarter, you never run out of things to teach. You know, on the agency side of my world, almost 20 years ago, my state's business journal came to me and said, would you write a weekly column? And I said, sure, I'd be happy to. And the editor at the time, or the publisher at the time, said to me, do you think you could do it for a couple of years? And I said, yeah, I think so. Well, I'm on year 18. And you know what? I've never run out of things to talk about because as an agency owner, I'm having conversations with clients and prospects every day. I'm having discussions with my team. I'm working on continuing my own education. I always have something to teach. And so you too will always have little nuggets that you can teach. And it doesn't mean that you're going to push away prospects. In fact, what happens is you're going to attract those prospects to come in closer and closer because you're giving them something of value. You're being super helpful. They're getting to know you and understand who you are and the brand of your agency and how you show up. And all of that makes you a more compelling and appealing choice when they're ready to hire an agency. The strategy behind content and teaching as a marketing tool is that if you continue to be valuable to someone, then when they're ready to hire an agency, you're going to be on the list. And if you do a great job, you might be the only one on the list. So don't worry about giving away all your smarts. First of all, it is an untapped wealth that you cannot possibly drain. You cannot teach everything you know. You're going to teach it in bits and pieces. You're going to keep getting smarter, which means you can augment what you're teaching and add to it. And most important, even if you did teach them everything you know, that does not mean they aren't going to want to hire you and have that depth of expertise on their team. So don't sweat it. Give away what you know generously and frequently. And I promise you, it will pay off huge dividends. Hopefully, I was able to put that worry to bed so you can start sharing your expertise and attracting right fit clients to you. I'll be back next week with another question and another answer.